Why do growing businesses love working in Slack? Let's ask Christy at Ari Bikes.
Running things in Slack saves me so much time.
AI summaries save 97 minutes per week. What say you, Rox from Gosney?
Slack helps us build community, it helps us build connection.
Your partners, vendors and customers all in one place. Take us on home, Ashley from Caraway.
If we didn't have Slack tomorrow, I would explode.
Well, let's not let that happen. Visit slack.com/podcast to get 50% off Slack Business Plus.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn and I hire wrong. So our orders get all backed up. We're drowning in paperwork, then actually drowning, careless fighting off sharks with a stapler, and pirates are pillaging the office copier, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant goes beyond the resume, using unique insights to deliver a smarter shortlist. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
So he's like, yeah, somebody called me this morning and said they wanted to sell an AT&T iPhone 5S Gold brand new. I said, really? I was like, okay, well, could I see your caller ID? I looked through the caller ID. Mr. Thompson's number is actually on the caller ID.
Really?
This is the plaintiff, Andre Richards. He says the defendant, his former friend, stole his gold iPhone 5 from him, hocked it, and he has the proof. He has since filed a criminal case against the loser and is suing him here and now for the $694 he's owed. This is the defendant, Lawrence Thompson. He says he told the plaintiff his phone was on the floor of his house, so he wouldn't forget it. Then the next day, the guy accuses him of stealing the thing. This is ludicrous. The plaintiff's gonna ruin their long-standing friendship by saying he stole something he most definitely did not. Oh well, easy come, easy go. He's accused of being a sticky-fingered friend.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Andre Richards, you are suing your former friend Lawrence Thompson for $694 of value of an iPhone 5S Gold 16 gigabytes because, according to you, he stole it from you.
That is correct,
What
Your
happened?
Honor. On the day of January 11th, the defendant had called me prior in the morning, approximately around 10 a.m., and he had told me that he had a particular DJ gig for a Sweet 16. He needed some equipment to borrow or rent. So I told him, okay, I'd rent that equipment to him. And then that was the conversation we had on the phone. But then again, my phone had been suspended with AT&T. So approximately around 1 o'clock p.m., the defendant showed up to my residence, and we had a brief conversation of what needed to be rented for that Sweet 16. The defendant then left the residence and came back around 4:30.
Before he left, did he comment anything about your telephone?
No, he did not.
Okay, so he comes back at 4:30 and what?
He says to me, I was running late. My girlfriend was in the shower at the time, so I was trying to get the equipment taken care of. I was just coming out the shower. She was just getting in. So what I did was I let the defendant come upstairs inside the house. The iPhone and the iPad was sitting together on the floor. I then let the defendant in the residence. He came in, he sat down. The phone was in his vicinity. I then went to the closet, took out some clothes to bring it to my girlfriend to the bathroom. So the defendant was left within a period of 2 minutes with that phone in his vicinity. I came back out. I didn't have any, I didn't really need the phone, so I didn't start looking for it until later on I got home that night from the Sweet 16 with the defendant.
So you actually went with him to the Sweet 16?
That is correct. I rented the equipment to him, but I always make sure I go and make sure the equipment is taken care of if there's a event he's DJing.
How long have you two known each other?
Since 2009, Your Honor.
Okay.
I came back home.
Were you friends?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you socialize together?
Definitely, Your Honor.
Okay, go on.
So I came back home that night. We were searching, me and my girlfriend were searching through the house. We couldn't find the phone. I said, well...
Was anybody else in the... Come on up. Was anybody else in the house during that time?
No, Your Honor.
Nobody?
No.
Okay, how long have you been dating your girlfriend?
For 3 years now, Your Honor.
Okay, go on.
So from that point on, I didn't make any assumptions. The Sunday comes now. The defendant shows up around like 1:30. And I mentioned to him, I was like, my phone is missing. I didn't accuse him.
Why does he show up at 1:30 on Sunday?
I do not know.
Okay.
He just comes to the residence, he rings the doorbell, I open the door to him, and I'm like, man, I can't find my phone. And he says to me, you can't find your phone. So he starts to look around, and I'm like, he actually mentions to my girlfriend, well, the phone was sitting on the floor with the iPad. So my girlfriend then says, well, I don't know who took the phone. It was only us in the house at the time. From that point on now, I didn't accuse him of anything until the next day. I was supposed to take her back to college in PA. We went to a trading post to sell her Kindle so we could get some money.
You went to
a trading post, a pawn shop.
Okay.
In Middlesex, New Jersey.
Okay.
My girlfriend was going to sell her Kindle so we could get some cash to drive her back to school in PA. I walked in there, and because me and the defendant were good friends, we usually go there if we need to.
To this specific place?
Yes.
The two of you have been to that specific place
That is
before?
correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
So I went in there. I started speaking with the gentleman, the owner. And
This is now how many days after the Sweet 16?
The Sweet 16 took place the Saturday.
And this is the next day?
This is Monday.
The Monday, 2 days later.
Because
okay.
they were closed on Sunday, so
Okay.
Monday we went there.
Okay.
I briefly said, did anybody else by a chance call in about a 5S AT&T iPhone? He's like, yeah, received a call this morning. And
well,
I said,
it's okay. Hold on a second. It's a specific one, the gold one.
It's either with AT&T or with a different carrier.
Right, but it's gold.
It's gold, 16 gig gold.
16 gig gold.
iPhone.
And those
5S.
are a little bit hard to find, right?
These when they first came out, they were.
Okay,
but
now it's not hard?
Now they're more on the market because they're not as high end. When they first came out, a lot of people.
How long had you had that phone?
I bought the phone back in, I would say, December
of
2013.
Okay.
So I have had it for less than a month.
Okay, so go on.
So he's like, yeah, somebody called me this morning and said they wanted to sell an AT&T iPhone 5S Gold, brand new. I said, really? I was like, okay, well, can I see your caller ID? I looked through the caller ID. Mr. Thompson's number is actually on the caller ID.
Really?
Yes, correct, Your Honor. So
what's going on?
I called because my friend Julius, my little brother, we both have an iPhone 5S Gold, 16 gigabyte, but we have T-Mobile. And he called in. He wanted to call and see if he can get his iPhone sold so we can get a new one. Because
does he have an iPhone, a gold iPhone?
Well, Your Honor, his claim,
yes or no?
He does have an iPhone.
He had one at the time.
But here's the situation with that: they recently just bought their iPhones. It was recently. So the fact that he could say
no, did he have a gold iPhone on the day of this phone call?
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
Okay, so go on.
Yes. Now, when we bought our phones from T-Mobile in the Menlo Park store, the guy said we have an insurance on our iPhones where we can pay a simple fee of $75 and we'll get brand new ones shipped to our house.
Yeah, but that's if something happens to it, not if you hawk it at a pawn shop and then lie. And so is that what your plan was? Your plan was you were going to hawk it at a pawn shop and then lie?
Yeah, and get an extra couple dollars, but it's for his phone. He had the same phone as me.
You don't even have the moral compass to realize that that's not a good thing to say in court? Wow. Okay, go on.
Okay, so that night I had a DJ, a Sweet 16 gig. He's my sound man. I rent stuff from him for the last 4 or 5 years now. I called him. I told him what I needed. He said, okay, come to my house. I went to his house to go pick up everything. He was running late, so I was trying to rush him out of the door. I helped him bring the equipment that I did rent to the car.
None of this matters to me. Did you see the phone?
Yes, it was on the floor where he was laying.
And according to you, you even commented to him, hey, dude, your phone is on the floor?
Yes.
And what did he say to you?
He didn't say anything.
Did he say to you, "Hey, dude, your phone is on the floor"?
Actually, he didn't have a conversation with me. He was actually speaking with my girlfriend. When I came out the bathroom from rushing, he even brought up the conversation. Did you remember how a particular female has stole a girl's phone at a party? And he brought up the conversation. He's like, man, you can get because our phones were suspended with AT&T. We had different options. We could either go to the pawn shop and sell them, and then go to either T-Mobile and get new phones, or we could either unlock the devices from AT&T and go to T-Mobile. So we had options. But the fact that he brought up to us that you could get $350 from the trading post, it didn't really signal anything until I went to the trading post the Monday, and the guy is telling me, well, he didn't like the price I gave him. He told him because the phone is with these new iPhones now, they have an iCloud lock. If you do not have that password or the person's fingerprint, you can't get into it. It's rendered useless. So he told Mr. Thompson or whoever he spoke to on the phone that those phones cannot be used. So the price he has to
You
give.
don't think it's a little suspicious that you called the pawn shop the minute it opened?
Yes, I do know.
Yeah.
And also, I have the statement from the gentleman. From
And what's interesting is that I never see anywhere in your answer to the complaint you saying I did call that pawn shop.
No.
How come you didn't mention that before?
Because that's not what was asked. She said what happened that day. This was not that day.
Okay.
I have the statement from the gentleman who owns the pawn shop who received the call from that
No,
number.
he doesn't deny that he called the pawn shop.
Yeah.
You actually have a picture of his telephone number in the guy's phone. You
That
have
is
the presence
correct,
of
but
mind
the guy
to-
also actually specifies this is an AT&T iPhone. He called to inquire about it. It wasn't a T-Mobile phone.
Let me see. Does that matter what service you have when you're trying to pawn a phone?
It does, Your Honor, because
it does not.
It does because the value with an AT&T iPhone, you could unlock it to any different carrier. With T-Mobile, you're limited to different carriers, so you would get a lot more for an AT&T iPhone.
As you said, iPhone 5S cannot be used after you use it. After the report is stolen or lost, the phone cannot be used at all whatsoever. So how
would you know that I reported it stolen or lost?
I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying that's what happens.
Whatever
My
happened with the
was
phone?
stolen.
He never came in and hawked the phone,
Ever.
right? So no one knows where the phone is?
Because the gentleman said the price he gave him,
Hey, I got it. So the phone is, I mean, I got my suspicions where the phone is, but but you never got a phone back.
I never, from that point, I stopped speaking to the defendant. I didn't respond. I didn't call him. The only thing
Wait, when you saw that it was his number calling, you didn't accuse him?
I definitely did. I definitely went to the police department and filed a police report.
No, I meant to his face, you didn't?
I didn't want to speak to him.
And in fact, there are criminal charges pending against you, right? What's going on with that?
He said he was going to drop them. He was going to drop
Why is he going to drop them? Why would you drop them? The guy's in your house, he steals your stuff?
What I said to the defendant was, because the outcome is really, I want my money back.
Yeah, I understand that, but don't you care that somebody goes in your house
Yes, I do.
that you trust
And that's why I
takes your
filed-
stuff?
and that's why I
So
filed
why?
the-
Yeah, but why would you drop it?
I said I would petition the judge to drop it. I didn't say
Why would you
did not
even do
say
that? So you got to get him to come here?
Not necessarily, Your Honor.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
The outcome would have to be to get
The outcome
money.
was nothing. It doesn't matter to me, that I'm going to do what I'm going to do, but it doesn't make any sense because either you believe in what is right or you don't believe in what is. Sometimes you got to take a stand on stuff.
You're absolutely right.
All right? Guy's looking at your phone on the floor, ends up thinking about it, decides he wants to pocket your $350. I mean, that doesn't bother you?
It does, Your Honor. And that's why I stopped speaking to him.
I mean, did you know anything about this scheme about him and his friend who were going to bilk the insurance on the $75 and hawk them and then say they lost them and then claim new phones? And did you know anything about that?
Your Honor, it doesn't make any sense to me, so I never thought about it. Because
No, did you know about it?
No, I did not. This is the first time I'm hearing about this because if you get a brand new iPhone, why would you go try to pawn it a couple days later?
I had to make double the money if you got the insurance on it. Because you're a thief.
Well, then again, if you're going to steal somebody's phone, you're trying to get some money.
Of course, if you're a thief, then maybe you're a thief.
Yeah, but you know somebody for 4 or 5 years. Why haven't I stolen anything before prior to this?
Who do you think stole it? If not you, then who?
He probably had it with him that night. Maybe he lost it. That's what I'm thinking.
Because he didn't. He didn't look
Because
for it.
if he drove all the way to the party, how could you not realize that you're? You know what I'm saying?
His phone was suspended. What would he need? He wouldn't bring it to the
He brings
party.
it with him everywhere else, and he brings his iPad as well. He also had his iPad also.
You know when you lose your phone, and you know when someone you think is a friend took your phone.
I know.
And this man has not only gone to the place and then investigated and then took a picture and then saw your phone number on there, which is kind of suspicious. But then oh, by the way, you have your phone record so that I can see that you actually have insurance?
No, I don't have the record on me. But I have my phone with me. iPhone 5S Gold.
See, you know, because the police have charged you. You now know that he has a picture and got the evidence that you called that day.
Yes,
And yet, when you answer this complaint, you do not mention having placed a call to the place.
Because I was not asked.
The following day, I go to the plaintiff's house to bring back his speakers. The plaintiff tells me his phone is missing. I reminded him I had seen it on the floor the day before. So you talk about more than one day. What proof do you have of what the phone costs?
My goodness. Your Honor, I do not have the receipt directly in front of me.
Well, I need proof. You're in the middle of a lawsuit. You want to collect a certain amount, and part of that is proving up that your item is worth that.
Okay.
Why was your AT&T service suspended? Non-payment?
It was not non-payment, Your Honor.
And when did you buy this phone?
How
many months prior to that?
Well, I upgraded my old phone. So
right. How many months prior to that?
It was back in December I bought the phone, Your Honor.
I don't know what that is. How many months prior to losing it, prior to your phone getting suspended, did you upgrade your phone? In other words, how many months did you use that phone before?
Less than a month, Your Honor.
Okay, maybe if you can't pay your phone bill, you shouldn't be upgrading your phone. Did that occur to you?
That's true.
Okay. Court's in recess.
All rise.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Okay, so guy calls up, exact same phone that the plaintiff lost. A caller ID shows up with the defendant's number. Is that enough proof that the plaintiff should win?
Of course it is. It's the same number. It's the same thing. Obviously, this guy tried to get over.
You buying that?
Not me. I need to have proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
No. It's not a criminal case. It's a civil case. All you have to do is tip the scales a little bit. Did he tip?
I still want to know more, like where his fingerprints
Really?
on the phone. Oh, yeah.
The fingerprints? Who, you mean the plaintiff's fingerprints? Oh, God, you're unreasonable.
I kind of agree with him on that one.
Really?
Yeah. No, I meant the defendant's fingerprints.
Well, the defendant's fingerprints are on the phone because the defendant was calling on the phone.
Well, I'd want to see that proof. If the fingerprints were there and it was the phone number, then you got enough.
He's just arguing with me. Going inside the courtroom.
Now, you have a contract, and the question is, how can you make yourself whole? How can you get the phone you already had, the 16 gigabyte gold phone? So what I did, because you're an AT&T customer, is I called AT&T and said I lost my phone, and I wanted to know how it is that I can get the following phone. She said, are you entitled to an upgrade? I said, no, I'm not. She said, then you pay $250 to cancel your old contract and $199 you start a new contract. Your contract was only 1 month in when they suspended it, so that's how it's going to work. That would be a total of $449. Now let me tell you something, because I believe with every fiber of my being that you stole that phone. You have a criminal case that's coming up, okay? Understand that in a criminal case, the burden of proof is beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In a civil case, which is what this is, it's by a preponderance of the evidence. Do I find it more likely than not that, in fact, you took it? And I think you took it. And do you know why I think you took it? You not only had the opportunity, okay, but when you had the opportunity to tell us what happened, you don't say anything about the fact that you called them the next day. The only time that comes out is when you find out that he has a photograph of your phone number on the thing, and I find it incredibly suspicious, as do you, because you agree it looks suspicious, that Monday morning you are calling to hawk a phone. And then your answer to that is, oh, I was going to hawk my own phone, Judge, and then steal money from the phone company. And you don't think that's going to make me think you're a thief. That alone makes me think you're a thief.
Okay.
So if you're confessing to me that you were going to be a thief, how do you figure that your defense is going to be successful here today?
Okay.
My verdict is for the plaintiff in the amount of $449. Show some backbone and don't drop the charges.
And after hearing those words as the defendant out in the hallway here, what's your reaction to those words from the judge?
She did what she had to do. He won. Oh, well.
Mm-hmm.
Case closed.
Everything just points at you, you know?
I know.
And there you're standing right in the middle of the bullseye.
Exactly. So.
Right? So how can everything be pointing at you and you standing there saying it wasn't me?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, so right down around the corner this way. Did he just say he took it, or did you hear him just now?
It sounded like a confession to me.
Not exactly, but he's not exactly denying it either.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. You satisfied how this comes out?
Pretty much, yeah.
Were you disappointed from a friendship standpoint?
Very, very.
Explain.
Well, when you trust somebody for so long, you let them in your residence, and then this happened, you learn from it, but it is what it is.
Who else could it have been?
I don't know. I don't believe in ghosts, so.
All right, Harvey.
Okay, Kurt. Well, as this gentleman said, in a criminal case, it's beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much higher standard, which means that in a criminal case, what happened today in the People's Court, that case cannot be used to convict him in the criminal because this is a much lower standard of proof. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on their way into the courtroom right now.
Año Nuevo. Los mismos Extra Value Meals en McDonald's. Ahora te puedes llevar 2 snack wraps y papitas y una bebida mediana por solo $8. Solo por tiempo limitado. Precios y participación pueden variar. Los precios pueden ser más altos en Hawaii, Alaska y California y con entrega.
Whether your business has 6 floors or 6 employees, Walmart Business has everything you need to save time, money, and hassle. You can restock your break room with bulk ordering or bulk up your ordering team with shared payments. And you can get it all delivered straight to your business's door, whether that's on Wall Street or Main Street. Walmart Business. It's the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
This is the plaintiff, Molly O'Neill. She says she rented an apartment from the defendant, and when she moved out, he kept a portion of her security deposit to pay for damages that already existed in the apartment when she moved in. That's right, the guy's trying to royally rip her off. She's here to fight for what's right and is suing the sorry excuse of a landlord for the $900 she's still owed. This is the defendant, Frank Pomerico. He says the plaintiff lived like a slob, left the apartment a dirty mess, and he had to send in a crew to clean it up and prep it for the next tenants. He was nice enough to return a portion of her security deposit, use the rest to cover the cleaning and the damages, and the plaintiff simply has no case. He's accused of ticking off her tenant.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff rented an apartment from the defendant and says the defendant is ripping her off because the defendant won't return the plaintiff's security. But the defendant says the plaintiff lived like a pig. It's the case of this little piggy went to court.
Thank you, Douglas. Molly O'Neill?
Yes.
You are suing Frank Pomerico?
Yes, ma'am.
Your former landlord for $900 of a security deposit that you want returned to you that you say he's inappropriately keeping. Tell me what happened.
Your Honor, I gave 60 days notice to move out of my apartment, and when I did move out, we cleaned it, we spackled any holes that were made from hanging curtains or anything else. There was an issue of the blinds being damaged by my dogs, which I had already prepaid for in a $200 non-refundable dog deposit when I moved in. And basically, we left the apartment in as good or better condition than we found it. My boyfriend, Michael, is here today, was there with me cleaning on the day that we moved out.
Did you take pictures at all? Or?
I took one.
It's always a really good idea to take a lot of pictures when you're moving out so that this doesn't happen, but show me the picture you took. What's going on? Why are you keeping their security deposit?
Because it took an excessive amount of cleaning. It was not in broom swept condition. I had a tenant coming in the next week. It took more than the amount of hours that I charged her to clean the place. There was excessive filth.
Let me see the pictures.
Well, I have a receipt here from my contractor, from my cleaning contractor, and I have a picture of the blinds, which...
Right, but what you're keeping... You're saying that the place was filthy. I need to have proof. She says was not. You say was too. She says was not. You're going to show me a bill for it. She's going to show me a boyfriend who you live there too? And then how are we going to solve this? The easy way to solve this is for the landlord to have pictures of what she left that was... It's really easy. You just show me the pictures. I say, what about this? Which of course she did not zoom in on. That's all I need you to do. You didn't do that? You didn't take pictures?
No. I don't have a picture of the filth. I do have a receipt from my contractor.
Okay. You have a contractor who does your cleaning?
Yes.
You mean a handyman?
Yes. And here's that.
Did you ever see it yourself?
I was there.
So
I do the painting.
What was dirty?
I participated. I supervised.
What was dirty?
What was dirty? The HVAC.
Because there's always an amount of cleaning that you have to do in order to turn it over to the new person. You know that.
It was well beyond normal wear and tear. Okay, in the oven, the sides, the bottom, each spoke of the rack had to be cleaned. In the HVAC closet, which contains the hot water heater and the air conditioning.
The $375 is entirely for cleaning?
No, it's only $150 for the cleaning. The
I
other
don't see the
amount was for the
150
spackling.
anywhere. I see 175
for the spackling in the bedroom. For the spackling, the sanding, and the painting in the bedroom, $50 for the blinds, and the rest was for the cleaning. There was an egg stain in the fridge that my handyman's wife spent well over half an hour that she had to scrape out and clean. There was a filmy substance in all of the cabinets, including in the bathroom.
Now, she says that the dog damaged the blinds and that you had a pet deposit of $200, which I guess was non-refundable.
Right, but how do I know the dogs did the damage to the blinds? And I also gave you pictures of the blinds.
How do you know they did it?
Right, but if you look at the blinds, though, you see the height of the blinds. When I took the blinds out, they were damaged at the top as well as the bottom. So unless the dogs could fly, the damage on the blinds was 6, 7, 8 feet in height.
How am I going to see everything you just said? Where do I see that? The pictures that
you
you're
see
showing
the height of the blinds.
I see. Okay, these blinds are perfect.
Right, that's of the current tenant.
Oh.
But you see the positioning of the blinds. So, and they were damaged top to bottom.
Why don't you just prove to me what the damage was by showing me the pictures of the damage?
Should have, could have, would have.
Yeah, I know. Do you have a phone?
I don't have a cell phone, no.
I don't mean on you today. Do you possess a cell phone?
No.
You really?
So I'm old school in that way.
No, I love that. I'm so jealous. I can't even begin to tell you. Does your handyman have a cell phone? Is your handyman living on our planet? All right. Because it's not that hard to take pictures anymore nowadays. It's just not that complicated. And if you're going to get into a contest with your tenant because you plan to keep money, you should certainly have pictures to prove the things that you're saying. Do you have any proof that you paid these amounts, like a canceled check or anything?
I don't have it on me now. If you want me to, I could prove it. Molly knows my handyman.
Come on up. According to him, there's 7 hours of spackle sand paint, bedroom and closet.
I didn't do that.
I'm
not his handyman.
We know. That's kind of what he's complaining about. He says that it was necessary.
The day before the move-out day, we went to a hardware store right on the corner, so the 30th of October, and purchased spackling, magic erasers to clean the walls, and spackling compound.
And did you use it?
Knife, yeah.
You have the receipt for it?
Yes,
and according to you, you used it.
I have a receipt for that, and spent maybe like an hour in the bedroom doing it. I don't think that painting is something that needs to be on there, though. There's also a cleaning of windows on here as well, but I know that the windows had some kind of film on them. I think they were sprayed because it's a first floor.
How'd the blinds break?
The dogs were pawing at the window in the first week that I moved in, and they cracked the side where it sticks out from where the cord comes
You actually
through.
have a picture that you'd like to show me of your dog staring. Where did that come from?
That actually, that wasn't from the blinds. I wanted to show that the day that I moved in, there was a sticky residue on the window left from the previous tenant, and I never was able to remove that. I was charged for my security deposit for cleaning the windows, but they were already in really bad condition when I received them.
Oh, I thought you were trying to show me how the dog is the level of the blinds.
No. That was just the dog happened to be there, and I was going through my cell phone looking for any pictures.
Well, that would certainly explain how the dog would hit the blinds, though, because there's the arm of the sofas right next to it.
But the blinds were not damaged at the top, Your Honor. They were damaged at the very bottom on the side.
So do tenants generally respect landlord's property?
I think it just depends on who you've decided to rent.
If you have to say generally, one way or the other, would you say generally yes, generally no?
Generally, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. What do you think?
No.
They don't. Why?
No, I think that they take advantage because it's not a property they own.
What do you think? Do tenants respect landlord's property?
I don't think so. It depends if the tenant is taking care of us. But if he does, yes, I think the landlord, sorry, I meant.
Why does it always sound smarter in French? Going inside the courtroom.
Here's how it works. When you go to court, you're the plaintiff and you have the burden of proof. You have to prove that you gave a security deposit and that you asked for it and you didn't get it back. You've done that. When the defense is, you're not entitled to it because you did X, Y, Z, the burden of proof is on the person claiming the defense. Everybody has to prove their own defense. So it is done every day in my courtroom and all the courtrooms throughout the land where the landlord proves it. Yes, you have a receipt. It's a piece of paper with typing on it. okay? That's what this is. You don't have proof that you paid another business, which often, people will come in with a check to prove that they paid their handyman. Because you understand that this can be typed in a computer 5 seconds ago, right? You don't have pictures of what you're talking about, which
I have
would
pictures
prove
of the blinds, which...
No, you don't. You have pictures of new blinds.
Of the new blinds, which
Right.
indicates
How
the
about
height of the blinds that the dogs...
You think I don't know where windows fall? You think I think windows fall down here? I've had pets. I see the sofa next to the thing. But who are you to decide that did or didn't happen a certain way? How do I know it happened, that you're being honest about that? But it's really simple. If you want to collect all this money that you're keeping, then it's easy to do. You just take pictures of what it is you're complaining about. But it sounds to me that what is happening is that you're readying it for the next tenant, with dusting in between the louvers, and that's perfect. You got to do it, but that doesn't get passed off on. Have you always done this? Have you always made the last tenant pay for the new tenant for the cleaning that you have to do when there's a switch of tenants? I don't see any evidence for you to be able to keep any of the security deposit. I'm going to order you to return it. $900, verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And so the plaintiff has won this judgment here against the landlord here. How could you come to court with no proof of anything that you're keeping?
I did have proof. I had my testimony. I had a receipt. I didn't know I needed a canceled check. Next time in the future, I would have a canceled check. I'll get an affidavit, written
Pictures
statements.
of the damage?
I'll get a video. I'll get a production team, and I'll get an act of Congress for support next time.
You are going to do great in court next time.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, so congratulations on winning your case. What was it like to have him as your landlord?
He was pretty intrusive most of the time, but I'm just glad that we were able to settle all this.
Mm-hmm. Any other problems? What do you mean by intrusive, by the way?
He showed up a lot unannounced, went in my apartment when I wasn't there without giving me prior notice, destroyed my garden, lots of little things.
All right,
So.
take pictures before you move in of
Yes.
everything, and then take pictures before you move out. Harvey?
Okay, here's a tip. Both landlords and tenants should take photos and/or video when the tenant moves in and when the tenant moves out. It is just a smart, good thing to do. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
It is my great honor to welcome you all to Starfleet Academy.
There's never been a better time to enroll in Star Trek.
It's our job to prepare you for the unimaginable. To the left, cadet!
In high-pressure situations, positive reinforcement is crucial to one's success. You're doing a great job.
This is what we train for. These friends of mine, they all live for something bigger than themselves. And that's Starfleet.
Starfleet Academy. New series streaming January 15th on Paramount+.
These are the plaintiffs, Robert and Ebony McDonald. Ebony says they hired a party bus from the defendant, and when it arrived, it was only a coach bus. The defendant admitted he made a mistake, promised her a party bus for another day, and when she called him to book it, he told her it would cost $700 for gas and tolls. Huh? She's suing the bogus bus man for $1,800, the amount she's most definitely owed. This is the defendant, John Shaughnessy. He says it was prom night. The party bus he'd sent the plaintiff died, and he had to scramble to get her another bus so her event wouldn't be ruined. He sent a high-end bus with a dance floor in it. It was an upgrade from the bus the plaintiff ordered, and she should be happy, not suing him. He's accused of a bus bust.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff hired a party bus and says when the bus arrived, it was much less than what she expected. But the defendant says, are you kidding? The one he sent had a real dance floor. It's the case of, I can't bust a move.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Robert McDonald and Ebony McDonald.
Yes.
And what is your relationship?
Father-daughter.
Father-daughter. Okay. You are suing the limousine service. You don't want us to mention the name of the limousine service. We'll respect that. Represented here by John Shaughnessy. You're the manager?
Yes, I am.
Okie doke. For $1,800, the amount that you paid for a party bus, because according to you, they sent you the wrong bus.
Yes.
All right. Tell me what happened.
Okay, on March 18th, my sister called to book the bus. The following day, March 19th, we went to the location, actually look at the bus, walk on the bus. And
What were you booking the bus for?
For her birthday party.
Her birthday party, okay.
Yes. It was booked for 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. We walked on the bus. Everything was fine. He's not Anthony, but there was a guy named Anthony. He took us in. We wrote up the contract. He said, we put down $300. He said $1,500 could be paid the night of. On the night of June 1st, when the bus was...
Can I see your contract?
Sure.
Why are you up here instead of your sister? She hired the bus?
No, the contract is all in my name, but it's her birthday party.
All right. She's how old?
She was turning 19.
And how old are you?
20.
Okay.
Also, if I could add, there was a second contract drawn up, Your Honor.
There was a second contract drawn up.
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Because after the bus that they contracted for...
Okay, you're talking about after the party? There was a second contract?
Well, I was out there when the bus that they sent arrived, and it was the wrong bus.
How is it the wrong bus? First of all, where does your contract say what kind of bus it is?
It says at the... Do it say at the bottom the 44-passenger party bus?
44 PB?
Yeah, party. That stands for party bus.
Okay. Is there only one 44 party bus, or are there many different buses configurations? Well, you learned that there were. So, because what happened is you get a bus and it's not the bus you ordered?
It's not the bus. I have pictures to show the bus that I booked and a bus that was sent.
Let me see. So what happened that she did? In fact, you agree that she didn't get the party bus that she ordered, but why didn't she?
Okay. The reason why she didn't get the bus was doing a wedding that day, okay? It has power that's in the rear of the bus as you worked with a generator that works it. And what happened was, as the bus was arriving at the Westbury Manor, which is in Westbury, the driver lost power to the bus. Thank God the job was done. He completed it. He contacted the office right away, says, listen, we have a problem. And it was around about 8 o'clock that night. So from Westbury to New Hyde Park to our base, it wasn't that far.
So the bus broke down
Yes.
Did anybody call her and say, hey, listen, we have a problem, your bus broke down?
No.
No, because it's much easier to just send her another bus and hope she doesn't care. All right, so here's the bus, and this bus is configured very, very differently. When you say, oh, it's a better bus, how is that better? This bus has seats lining both sides, and then poles. Are those secure? Poles that are lit up and a dance floor in between everything versus of course, they took the picture only of the passenger side. Did you take a picture of the dance floor here?
Yes
or no?
We have one over
Did
here.
you take a picture? Yeah, give me the one. That's the one I want to see. Don't pretend there's no dance floor in the bus.
We have...
This one has a dance floor in the back of the bus, right?
Yes. You can see a pole back
So if
there.
I sit, I got to sit facing forward. I don't get to see the dancing. Okay. So is this a picture of the bus?
Yes, in the back portion
so
of the
all
bus
the seats are facing forward, and then there's one little area in the back where people can dance. So how can you say that is the same as this? It's not. It's not. Right? Have you been to a party?
Okay, so does this plaintiff get all of her money back, some of her money back, or none of her money back?
I think she gets all of her money back.
But she did get a bus, and it was a lesser bus, but she got something.
But she explained exactly what she wanted, and she didn't get that. The vendor didn't...
So she gets everything back, even though she got a ride?
I think so.
Okay, what do you think?
Some of the money, yeah. I think she should.
How do you figure out what? You know what I mean? It's like, what do you do? Give her half? I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, half.
Just because that sounds good, right? Okay, you're so ornery. What do you give her?
None.
Oh, I knew it. Why?
Well, the
quick.
verbal contract, and the fellow provided everything that was in the contract.
Except the kind of bus she wanted, going inside the courtroom.
So when she complains, when do you complain?
Well, the following day we went to the location. My dad,
Nobody called that night and said, what the heck?
Oh, we all
We all
three,
called, but
the
nobody
bus driver, we all called. We sat there for an hour just waiting for maybe a call back or something to let us know.
You mean you called him and he wouldn't call you back?
Nobody called us back, so we was
What did the bus driver say?
The bus driver was trying to call too, but he could not get in contact.
Was it a surprise to him that wasn't the bus you ordered?
He said, this is what I was sent with.
That's it. I know
He said,
nothing.
I'm just the driver.
Okay.
Put nothing on me.
All right, so
the following day we went to their location, but they was closed. So my dad went June 3rd, and this is where he made up another contract stating he admitted the wrong bus being sent and that he would give us another bus for any day in July, but he flopped on that one too.
Oh, oops. All right. Okay. Here's what this says. Have you seen this?
Yes, I have.
Limousine company and or their representatives agree to provide another party bus of that comparable to the party bus that I, Ebony McDonald, that's a little poorly worded, originally contracted for to arrive on June 1st that failed to arrive. The owner rep stated bus broke down on way to location. I agree to provide a party bus in the month of July to correct the wrong bus being sent. So why didn't that happen? Were there additional fees he wanted you to pay?
He said $100 per hour. He said driver's fee. Tolls, gas. So it was going to amount to the same amount anyway. And I felt
no, not the same amount. It was going to amount to, but it was going to amount to a couple $100, which is not in this contract. It just says you're going to provide a bus. What about that says you got to pay the driver and you have to pay tip and you have to pay gas? That doesn't say that. It just says I'm going to provide a bus in order to correct this.
Well, what happened was that we had discussed this with Mrs. McDonald that at least what would happen was they were looking to at least get the...
Where's that in here? What am I supposed to do with this? I wouldn't have done this. I would have said, you know what I would have done if I was a business owner? I would have said, I'm so sorry. First of all, I would have called them. And I would have said to them, we have a problem. Now, I can still send you a bus, but I'll knock some money off. None of that happens. You just shove a bus down her throat, and then your answer to the complaint is, well, she didn't have to accept the bus. Really? Because you've got how many people there? 50
44.
people, 40-something people who want a party. Yeah, you got to accept the bus because you're trying to make, the best of a bad situation. But if that's not the bus she hired, then that's not the bus she pays for. If you send her a bus that is deficient, and it is deficient, in my opinion, then you sit there and negotiate a couple $100 off. He ends up negotiating with your boss, the owner, not a couple $100 off and everybody walks away, but instead another bus, which sounds very generous, right?
Right.
Woo, party! When's your birthday? We can figure it out. It's going to be awesome, right? Except not so much, because after he puts this in writing, he wants it to be something else. No. So now what?
So he said we could come in any day of July. So I followed up on that. On June 6th, that's when he started discussing the fees. And once I said I didn't agree to fees, I said I'm just going to have to take it to court in order to get my money back when he started bringing it.
Yeah, and see now that you got greedy, I'm sure you don't want to do business with them anymore because you don't trust them. So I'm not going to make her just, he's still willing to do it. Too late. Now you pay them $1,800 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so the bus guy comes out here on the losing end of this case. Give me your feeling on this outcome.
Steve, basically the bottom line is that we were still looking to do the right thing by the client itself. Unfortunately, we couldn't come to some type of decision.
Well, you were making the decisions for the client there on what kind of bus they're supposed to take or accept, and it's really their decision, not yours, right?
Correct.
Right. All right, so this happen often? Breakdowns and
Breakdowns on buses definitely do happen, yes. It's unfortunately we have no control over
part of the business. All right, right down this way. Let's see how the party girl feels about the outcome here. Satisfied about this?
Yes, I'm happy.
Yeah?
It's only right.
All right, so you win your case. How'd the party go?
Well, we didn't really have a party.
Anything? Did you do anything?
We was able to get a ride to the city, but it wasn't really a party.
No?
No.
So you're owed one part?
It was a cab ride, a casual ride to the city. So I'm glad that we got our money back. We deserved it.
What are you going to do with it? Rent a bus? Have a party?
Yeah, I should throw another one.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Harvey?
Okay, so this has to do with the being subjective or objective. The fact is, he says she got everything she wanted, but in her head, she didn't. And the fact is that the experience she got was not the same experience as what she contracted for. And that's what you have to look at. Yes, she had a dance floor. Yes, she had seats, but it wasn't the experience she bargained for. And that's why the defendant ultimately breached the contract.